Yo, YouTube, we're back with another video. So I took a little hiatus, um, at least from posting on YouTube, to focus on a master's grind that I was trying to do. Um, so this video, guys, today is gonna be talking about that grind in season 28, a solo queue grind to get masters. Um, my intentions were to start off solo queue from through platinum because platinum's pretty easy to get through, and then start to establish and try to find a team in diamond. Right. So this video we're going to talk about my season 28 Masters takeaways. Before, like the video, as that helps me out tremendously. All right, guys, let's get to it. So what I learned from this season. So this is the first time I think I actually, in a while, first time in a long time where I had set out to get masters again. Got a masters maybe 4 or 5 times before, and I did it in with multiple different types of ways. I've done it with a team, done it solo queue, done it with a duo. I've done it, in many different ways. And so I know what it takes to get it. I know the commitment it takes, the time commitment. I know the effort it takes. I know what it takes. This season was a little bit different, but it wasn't. A lot of what's required to get masters is the same usually across the board, right? When you want to get masters or pred, you have to have a lot of quality games. It's not so much you're just playing a lot of games, right? So let's just start off from the top, from number one. So number one, what I learned was, mentally you have to be ready for the negativity more than the positive. What does that mean? So when you're solo queuing, especially duo queuing, um, a lot of negative people come into your atmosphere when you're playing. A lot of them want to just joke around. A lot of them want to purposely lose RP because to them, for some reason, that's more fun. You come up against guys who don't care, but they're playing right, right? They don't care, but they're playing. You come up against the guys who are racist, right? Me being a black guy, I've heard the N word like thousands of times throughout this run. And so you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. It's not easy, right? Out of 20 games, you might find one or two games where you actually have decent teammates that want to try to play the right way. That's where you have to stay strong mentally, right? That's why I put that one like number one. Number two, don't take more than 2 days off at the most, or you're going to be killing your RP. What do I mean by that, right? So too much time in between playing, you lose your own personal momentum. You get out of your own flow. You stop being in the motion of things in terms of map rotations, in terms of, staying with the players that are around your level and ranking up and going with those guys. You lose that. If you take, 3, 4, 5 days off, a week off, and then get back on, a lot of those guys who you might have been playing with and having success with have left your elo. And so now you're stuck with the guys that are coming up into the rank that you're in. And a lot of them that they cap off at that, right? It takes them so long to get there. And they're not going to be as good, right? And so you're losing out on that. You're losing out on a day that could be your day, right? Some days you rank up and you gain so much RP and the day feels so good and so easy to play that you made the right move, the right call by playing that day. There's a lot of days where I feel like I don't want to play. But those are the days that I've learned from the past that you usually have a lot of your better days, right? When you're not feeling like playing. And so a lot of the days when you do feel like playing, you have worse games, right? And or you sometimes you have better games. But those games that you take off, those days you don't play, you never know what could happen. And that's what I mean by that. Maximize your time playing. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're wasting your time. Number three, find a team. Without a shadow of a doubt, find a team. I'm somebody who solo queues a lot just because of life. Friends don't play. I've been through the up and down of having a team, not having a team, having guys promise you things, and then things get hard and they fall off and leave you. And so I would go through this up and down, ebb and flow of that. But I understand that finding a team, especially when you get to a certain level, you need to do it. If you play with, if you've never had a team to get to masters, you need to be establishing what that looks like when you get to platinum, or if you're in gold. You need to find guys that are willing to do what you want to do. That requires you to be very honest and open. Hey guys, listen, I want to get masters this season. I've never gotten it. And I want us to do it together. Okay? That's honest, open, clear. I know what you want. Boom. Because when you get to a certain level, you want to be establishing a rhythm. You want to be establishing a flow and getting really working out those kinks early, and then knowing whether or not it's going to work or not with the team. So you could, get into a flow and understand each other's tendencies, and you need that when you get to diamond, right? So let's keep going, right? Oh, and by the way, to that point, there's a number of resources out there that you can do, you can have. Like I can show you right now, right? So if I go to my Discord, um, you can see that if I go to like an Apex server, or I go to um let's go to Apex. Let's go to competitive Apex. Let's go down to um let's just do this. Let's go to his and hers, right? We go to his and hers. You can go to theirs and you can see that even on theirs, they have looking for teams, and they have different things on their servers. I mean, you go to let's go to Apex Legends. Go to Apex Legends, looking for games. Right here, you have guys that are already in voice chats that are playing together, right? If I scroll down, you see it has looking for a group, right? NA, right? If you want to look for a casual group, you got it. If you want to look for a ranked group on PC, you got it. They even have console servers for casual and for ranked, right? And if you're, in Europe, they have Europe, Oceania, Asia. So there's no excuse, right, to not have a team. There's just no excuse. I mean, there's plenty of servers on Discord and Reddit. You can find guys. So if you're not, you're wasting your time when you get to a certain level, because you can't. You can solo queue it, but they're making it very difficult to solo queue, and but they're making adjustments to where solo queuers can find success. But this is a team game, and so if you're not trying to be a team for the diamond, masters, and pred level, then you're not trying to really be successful. The next one, know when to stop and when to ride that wave depending on the day and how the games are going. So I talked about this earlier. When you're having a good flow, right? You've won a couple games, or got a couple second places, third places, your kills are feeling good, and you look and you go, okay, it's 11 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock, and you feel like getting off. Don't, like, play it as long as you can, right? It's 9 o'clock, or you want to watch the NBA games, you want to watch football games, you want to get off and just kind of put your feet up. But the games are going great. They've been going great for 2 hours, 3 hours. Keep going, keep playing. Like discipline yourself to keep going, just because you want to stop. But the games are good. you don't know if the next day is going to be that good. Usually it's not. And so it's very difficult to chain days together that are just great, great, great. They're usually great, bad, good, decent, decent, bad, bad. And it's just like that. So ride those games, ride those days. Next one, ask for help and don't be afraid to. A team, even for a game or two, is better than nothing. So this is a huge one for me. I talk about this all the time. So, for me, I capped off around Diamond 2. Diamond 2 was when it was starting to get really, really difficult, and I knew that this is where I personally needed a team. The players weren't good enough to help me randomly, and I was getting like Platinum 3 players, and I was getting all kinds of weird stuff. And it was as though a shift happened to where I got worse teammates, and that flow it stopped. It threw me completely out of my flow and rhythm. Whereas when I switched to D3 to D4, it was like a great rhythm that I was able to find better teammates that wanted to work together. You need a team. You need a team, guys. If your goal is to have a team to get there, you need a team. Let go of your ego and your pride and ask people that you see around you that are good for help. If you play with some guys that drop 10 kills, 12 kills, 3, 4K damage, message them and be like, hey, this is what I want to do. Are you down? Are you solo queuing? Do you have a team? Do the whole nine. If you're not, you're not really wanting it. So, next one. Have fun, but if you're not competitive, you'll be eaten up. The grind takes somebody who's competitive. You're gonna have bad days, good days. You're gonna have bad teammates, the whole nine. You have to be competitive. If you want to win and be successful, it's gonna be very difficult, and you need to be competitive. If you're not, you're playing for nothing. And if you're playing for nothing, go play pubs, right? Like guys and girls who are playing ranked should be playing to win, should be playing to be the best, should be playing for the right reasons. And like I said, if you don't want to compete and you want to do everything that I said not to do in this entire thing so far, that's what pubs is for. Don't waste my time as a competitive player. Don't waste other guys' time as a competitive player. When we get you as teammates and you don't want to take it seriously, right? I'm gonna skip. Well, okay. Well, I touched on this a little bit. Diamond 2 and above will require more than Diamond 4 and 3. So yes, so D4 and D3, you're getting paired with a lot of guys who are solo queuing as well, dual queuing, and a lot of those guys they cap off at themselves at Diamond. A lot of players do not go past Diamond, and have never gone past Diamond, and some of them never will, just because that's just who they are. Those are the guys you usually get when you're in D4, D3. But to go to D2 to D1, you need guys who have been there, who've done it, guys who are really driven if they haven't to get there and they practice and they do all the right things. That's who you need. There is a shift when it comes to that in just the game's mechanics. Don't follow your teammates if they clearly don't know how to play rank and get past diamond. That's a huge one. I can spend a whole other. I can do multiple videos on this. One of my advices that I give guys is when you're playing solo queue or you're playing duo queue, there's a tendency to feel as though you need to jump into a bad situation because your teammates are, or you need to, your teammates go down and they're pinging really hard, and you feel like you need a rush to put yourself in a bad position. Use your brain, think first before you act. If your teammates are doing the right thing, follow them. If they're not, don't follow them. Like if they put themselves on low ground to fight a team on high ground and you know that there's no way to get out or get yourself out of a bad situation if something bad happens, why would you follow them just to die together? No. Do the smart thing. Do the smart thing regardless, because that's what's going to get you further. That's a skill that has to be learned, because the apex tendency is my teammates are down. You just feel this overwhelming sense of I need to help. But you have to learn to back off of that feeling and do what you know is right. Doing what you know is right, despite what your teammates are doing, will help you in the long run when you get two teammates that do know what to do, because now you've been disciplining yourself to do the right thing all along. And now you just have two good teammates, you just plug and play, boom, you're good. But if you've been doing the wrong thing for so long, when you do get good two teammates and they're doing the right thing, you don't know what the right thing even looks like, and so you become a hindrance to your team instead of a being valuable. And so it's 2v3s instead of it being 3v3s, because you're the weak link now. Always do the right thing, despite your teammates pinging and calling you names and all this kind of stuff. You can mute, bro. Mute the mics, mute the pings if that's the case. It's gonna be a long road, so expect ups and downs. It's a part of the journey. Goes kind of back to what I talked about earlier. Yeah, it's gonna be a long road, guys. It's gonna be a really, really long road, and I know for me personally, I have like YouTube up on the side or another stream up on the side, just to kind of not be so locked in. But I'm locked in, but just to give myself a mental break. I might have like basketball on or something, and I'm just kind of like between games, just kind of mentally resetting and giving myself a cool down, um, and trying to enjoy my night, right, or my morning. And you need to do that. You need to, get up, stretch, go grab some a snack, some water, put yourself in a routine that keeps you sharp, keeps you pretty even, because you're gonna argue, you're gonna fuss, you're gonna make, you're gonna curse, you're gonna yell, and if you're not doing those things, you don't care. But for me, I get upset when I lose. I get upset when I'm not seeing success that I know I can achieve because I've done it already. So for me, you have to find ways to make it enjoyable. But I know it's always going to be difficult, no matter if I'm solo queuing or with a team. No matter if it's season 0 to season 28, it's always going to be difficult, and you have to figure out ways to cope with that. Last but not least, stay positive in your ability, and your mentals will take you further than your skill. If you practice and you put in the work outside of when you play, like play ranked, you're going to aim labs, you're going to Kovacs, you are, if you're a controller player, you're making sure everything's dialed in, and you're feeling fresh and warmed up. You're not stiff on the sticks. You're everything feels good, and you're ready to go. You're film studying. You're looking at the map knowledge and rotations. You're doing all those things, right? You're working on yourself to be better for your teammates, right? You're working on yourself to be more focused, more locked in. If you're doing all of that, when you get to D2 and D1 and Masters and Pred, everybody can shoot their weapon the same. Everybody has good aim. Everybody knows how to hit shots with Kraper and snipers, and everybody knows how to do all of that. What separates you at that level is up here. Is what's up here and what's in here. If you got those, you're having a huge advantage over those guys that don't. I always say this, right? No matter what profession you're in, basketball, soccer, gaming, archery, running, martial arts, at a certain point, everybody knows how to do the same stuff. Everybody's skilled. But what separates you is the mental. Apex is no different. So that rotation that you didn't know to make, because but the other guy did, even though you're better at, you have better aim or whatever, it doesn't matter, because he knew how to get behind you. You know, your two teammates went down and you're not confident in your 1v1 or 1v2 ability, even though you could probably win it, but they beat you because they got the mentals. You're in a situation where the odds look kind of against you, but mentally you just kind of say, I'm not good enough to do that. And so I'm going to turn my back and run away. And when you turn your back and run away, you get shot. When you actually could have probably faced the fight and probably won it. Or even if you died, at least you died knowing like you tried to go out on your shield, right? So it's the mentals, guys. You let one team yell at you and call you names, and they really just make you feel really defeated. And you get off early when you could have, the next game could have been the game that you played really great and had good teammates. But you missed out on that next game because you let something defeat you mentally. Everything that I'm talking about here, it's not just exclusive to season 28. Take this, apply this to your rest of your seasons. Right now, today, we're in a new season, season 29. Take this, apply it, be motivated, and let's go. Get after it, guys. I'm out. Peace.